Hello everyone, I am Krooked, and I do stuff. And this is Unscripted, the series where I take a completely unscripted look at games and give it a 1 through 10 rating. This is X-Men 2: The Clone Wars. So, back in the 90s, we had a clone problem. Lots of clones. Clones everywhere. Clones. Mostly in comics. And, you know, X-Men decided to jump on that and make the sequel to the last X-Men game into X-Men 2: Clone Wars. This, very, very much like the other one, I have a ton of memories of. This came out in the height of the 90s where the X-Men animated series reigned supreme and everyone watched that show. So when we got a new X-Men game, awesome. This one, as you'll notice, doesn't start with any sort of a title screen or anything. And I seem to remember that from being a kid too, where it just kind of puts you directly into the game. That, of course, makes this a really interesting one, because normally you don't get to do that. But when you die, it takes you to a character select screen, and that's just kind of that. So, as you've noticed, I haven't complained about the sound yet. That's because this is probably one of my favorite Sega Genesis games, and it sounds really good. It doesn't have a lot of the really crappy sound effects that the Sega Genesis is known for, and, well, it sounds good. It has a little bit of, like, voice acting, just like a smidge of it, and then it also has just good sound. The sound effects sound accurate and like they belong. Now that I died, it takes me to this screen where I get to choose who I want to be, and who else would I choose but Wolverine, my favorite X-Men member. So now that I'm here, you know, get to go through. I have a few different abilities. I have my slashing attack, which is really OP. I have a normal slash, which doesn't make me jump ahead. And that's Wolverine. That's basically what Wolverine has. He can also wall crawl. And ceiling crawl. Because that's Wolverine. Stuff he does all the time in the comics that a lot of people don't know about. And that's just who he is, you know. He's our weird Canadian. But it's fine. I know some weird Canadians. Love them to death. They're awesome. Shout out to Mello. And, yeah. I don't know what I'd do without Canadians and their maple syrup addiction that feeds my maple syrup addiction. I don't believe Wolverine recovers health in this one. He might. Maybe if I just, like, stand still, I'll recover health. So that's usually how you have to in these games. Yeah, okay. So if you just kick it for a little bit. Maybe not. Was I 1 or 2? I don't even remember. Ah! I'm gonna die. Ninjas. So, yeah. This game is a little difficult, but if you aren't being dumb, you can usually get past the difficulty pretty easily. I'm just kind of rushing and not really paying attention, which, I mean, that's on me, 100%. So, with this game, the controls, it controls really well. It sounds really good. It looks really good. So, what's the downside to this? Well, there's a couple. The first one, which I think is honestly the biggest, is the fact that it's hard. And it's hard in a way that's very, very unforgiving. You're gonna die, and you're gonna die quite a bit. It's the reality of this game. And there's no getting around that. That's a lot of games back in the day, though. So that's not exactly something that's wrong with this. It's kind of wrong with the era. The other thing that's really wrong with this game that I and anyone else who played this in the 90s can tell you about is the second level. Now, if you played this game in the 90s, you probably know that the second level of this game requires you to destroy bombs in like a factory or warehouse or something. I don't remember the exact. I'm going to try to get there so I can show you. When you destroy the bombs, it says like restart the console or whatever. And oh wow, I do restore health because I was it too. Restart the console, to most people in a game, thinks that would assume, hey, there's something here where I need to restart something, go interact with something, I need to do something. That's not the case. Oh, I think I made it. Dope. Okay, so yeah, that's the intro level, because then after you do the intro level, it does, the title screen and everything. That's just how this game was. Get you right into the action. Oh, that's good. So, once you get in and you do all that, so I'm going to be Wolverine, right? You get to this level. Yeah. And it tasks you with resetting the console. What they meant that no one was able to figure out for literally decades, because I saw a video about it like 6 months ago or so, is hit the reset button on your console. You have to destroy like all of these, and then when you're done, you have to hit the reset button on your console, which will soft reset the game and give you the ability to continue on. Well, no one knew that back in the day. Legit, no one knew. So you just had a bunch of people renting a game and being completely, totally, 100% unable to progress in the game because, well, no one knew how. And that's the big problem with this game. If I remember right, there's also a timer associated with it, so you have to reset the console within like 30 seconds or whatever. If you don't do it, you die and you go to game over, and it is probably one of the worst designs I've ever seen in a game for that sole reason. Now, with modern day tech, that's not as big of an issue because, we know that you can just do that and it does what you need it to do. The problem is, most people playing this game today are going to be emulating it. Now, why is that a problem? Well, it's simple. A soft reset on an emulator doesn't work the same way that a soft reset works on your home console. And even on the home console, if you push the button too hard, rip, there goes your game, so you just get to start over. It was a bad mechanic that I really hope someone patches out at some point, honestly, or they figure out a way past it. And because of that, I can't give this game the rating that I want to give it. If that flaw wasn't in this game is an easy 8. It's a good game. It has a lot of recognizable characters. It sounds good. Like, this is a good game in every way, other than that one little caveat. Because of that one little caveat making it literally impossible to progress in this game past a certain point, unless you happen to be playing on a Genesis and you happen to hit it in the right area and not mess up, it is technically an unplayable game. And the only score that I can give a game that can't be beat is a 0. The reason why is because if you can't beat it, what's the point of playing it? Just to look at it? Come on. So, I love this game. I really do. This is one of my favorite games. I don't want to have to give it a 0, but I have to solely on the basis of you can't beat this game. It's sad, I know, but I promise you, if you try it out, you're gonna like it, and then you're gonna get to the level and you're gonna be like, wow, that sucks. If you find a way to beat it, please comment down below. Let me know if there's a way to. I would love to get in and play it. I've tried on my Genesis hitting the reset button, and it just... I can't push it in softly enough, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. So, I want to give it higher, but this game is a 0 because it's just quite simply not beatable. But... if you like the X-Men, go ahead and like this video. Hit that subscribe button so that way you never miss an episode of Unscripted, and hit the bell so that way you'll be notified whenever a new episode of Unscripted comes out. If you really, really want to support the channel more, go ahead and check out my Patreon. Link is in the description down below. And other than that, I do want to thank you for watching Unscripted, and I will see you next time. Bye!